Hi there, welcome back to the evening show. Now, when it comes to the skies above us, there's only one man that we ever invite in to tell us what's happening, and that, of course, is David Moore from Astronomy Ireland. David, you're very welcome indeed.
Thanks very much, Jimmy.
Now, as you can see, I was doing my research there, so I know that there's a lunar eclipse on the horizon. Tell us about it.
Yes, in our magazine we have a 3-page feature all about this eclipse, because it will be the last one until 2015. So you have more than 4 years to wait if you miss this one. And it's happening on the 15th of June. And it's unusual in that it's happening just as the sun sets and the moon rises. Okay. Now, an eclipse is caused by simply the Earth, Moon and Sun lining up in a straight line. In this case, the shadow of the Earth is falling on the moon. And that means the sun has to be on the opposite side of the sky with us in the middle. So just as the sun goes down about 10 p.m. on June the 15th for Ireland, the moon will be rising. And it'll be totally eclipsed, so you probably won't be able to see it. And that'll be part of the fun. Can you see the moon on the horizon as it rises eclipsed? It's only up above the horizon for a few minutes when it starts to reappear out of the Earth's shadow. And then you'll certainly see a bright sunlit sliver of the moon, which will grow, because what's really happening is the Earth's shadow is moving off the moon. But the Earth is also rotating, which is bringing the moon up higher in the sky. So it's a wonderful confluence of events that's going to be very dramatic to watch.
Yeah, and obviously it's something that you will be trying to see. What about for the rest of us who want to try and watch it? Is it worth having a go?
Well, of course, you can see it with the naked eye from all across the country. But if you want to get a close-up view, and the planet Saturn is on view, and we'll mention that in a moment, then you should go along to one of Astronomy Ireland's eclipse watches. We're setting up powerful telescopes several places around the country. I'll be in the Phoenix Park, our usual haunt, with telescopes there, trying to watch the eclipse rising on the horizon, hoping for good weather. But there'll be other venues around the country as well, and we're asking people who have large telescopes to get in touch with the Society if they want to run one in their local area. But we usually have them in Cork and Waterford and places like that around the country. But you can watch it yourself. You don't need a telescope. A pair of binoculars will give you a great view if you have those. And if you're looking for a telescope, do contact the Society, because this is the kind of thing telescopes were made for. And we want everybody with a telescope watching this particular event.
Excellent. Now, you mentioned Saturn Storm. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I think we have a picture of the Saturn Storm taken with the kind of telescopes you can get here in Ireland. But this one's actually taken from the Philippines. And what happened late last year was that Saturn doesn't normally have many storms in its cloud tops for us to see. Normally, when you look at Saturn through your telescope, you're looking at its rings, its cloud belts, which are not that easy to see, and its moons, several of which you can see in a small telescope. But for the last few months, we've had this fantastic storm. Not a lot of people know about it. We want everybody to get out with their telescope and have a look at it. Christopher Go in the Philippines took a fantastic sequence of shots which show the storm as Saturn is rotating. It's been there for months. It's probably dissipating now, but we can see Saturn every night until the end of August. So you've got loads of opportunities to see it. It's a bright star to the naked eye, high in the south, every night for the next few months. If you've got a telescope, get out now and watch it. This is an extremely rare event. Perhaps once a decade you might get a storm like this. And if you need any advice or help in seeing it with your telescope, do contact Astronomy Ireland, and we want everybody to tell us what they're seeing of both Saturn and the eclipse. They can email us, they can call Astronomy Ireland, and we'll include their reports in our magazine for posterity.
You get me all enthused every time you come in. I want to see everything. Now, one of the updates that we do look forward to when you do come in is the Endeavour. Where is that at the moment?
Yeah, well, there's been big news on the International Space Station. This year is going to see the last ever shuttle missions, and Endeavour is just finishing its own last ever mission. It won't ever fly again. There's one more shuttle mission to go, Atlantis, probably in July. We'll wait and see a bit closer to the date if it goes up on time, because this mission was delayed. This one is delivering a huge $2 billion alpha spectrometer. And what that's trying to do is the similar thing they're trying to do with this $10 billion project on the French-Swiss border that we've talked about before, where they're smashing particles together to try and recreate the Big Bang. This happens in nature. Particles go very fast in space, and some of them hit our atmosphere. You can't control that, but you can get more energetic collisions in space. Someone's realised this and put together a $2 billion experiment that's going to try and beat the Europeans at this game. So it's going to be great fun to see what happens over the next few years. One way or another, for us, the general public, we should find out the ultimate building blocks of nature.
The Space Shuttle, has it moved things on? Has it moved our knowledge forward?
Oh, dramatically so. I mean, we now have the International Space Station, which was mostly built by the space shuttle. The space shuttle was the ferry that took all the parts up, several tons. I think it can take up to 20 tons at a time. The International Space Station is now running around 400 tons. No one spacecraft could ever launch that much. But now the Americans are losing the space shuttle. They're going to have to rely on the Russians till their new manned space vehicle comes online. No one's really sure when that's going to be, but I think 5 to 10 years is how long they're going to have to rely on the Russians. And although the space shuttle mission is landing this week, and we couldn't see it anyway because it's not visible in our night skies, we will be able to see the International Space Station flying over every night from June the 11th until June the 27th. So we've got about 2 weeks to see it. And then in July, I said we're hoping for the last ever shuttle mission. So that's going to be in the news a lot. It's a bit of an embarrassment for the Americans that they won't have any manned spaceflight capabilities of their own.
Final highlight, just tell us a little bit before we go about the sun show.
Yeah, well, the sun itself, it's dangerous to look at the sun with telescopes or binoculars, or even just to stare at it with your eyes. That's bad for your eyesight. Don't do it. There's special filters you can get them from Astronomy Ireland. They're only a few euros. You can put in front of your telescope, and they stop the extremely bright light getting in the first place. And we'll be setting those kind of telescopes up at our own telescope shop in Artane in Dublin every Saturday, 1 o'clock for the afternoon. We're there from 10 to 1 every Saturday anyway. And if it's clear, you can come along and look at the sun live. And if it's not clear, we can show you the pictures that are coming in from space every few hours or so from the spacecraft that are monitoring the sun. Last week, for instance, there was a huge spot as big as the Earth crossing the sun. And as the months go by for the next 2 years, the activity is going to build. I remember the last time this happened, it happens every 11 years, the sunspots increase. I counted 115 sunspots with a small telescope at once. So it's a spectacular sight to see. So if you want any advice on viewing the sun safely outside Astronomy Ireland sun shows, do contact Astronomy Ireland. We'll give you all the advice we can.
Give us the contact details, for goodness sake.
Well, on our website, it's very simple, astronomy.ie. You'll find everything you need there about the eclipse, Saturn, the moon, and sun shows, space stations, and everything else.
And the magazine is a great help too?
Yep, or call us. It's a Dublin number, 01847 0777. The magazine is available in all good news agents, or you can order it online through the website, or just subscribe to it. It'll cost you less than €1 a week.
Yeah, it's a great read. David Moore, thank you very much indeed for coming in.
My pleasure.
That's it for tonight's show. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we did bringing it to you. All of us here tomorrow with her guests. See you soon on The Evening Show.